So we played Monopoly the other night, and I didn't take any money. I wanted to take the place of the slaves that were emancipated in 1865, who did not get the 40 acres or the mule. And so I took nothing. Now, I survived for a few times around the board, but I couldn't buy nothing. And it was very soon I was out of the game. Now you would say that that is unfair to have somebody sit down at a table and play Monopoly and not give them the $1,500 to start with. But that's what this country did with our people when they emancipated us. And then have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to wonder why we don't do better. And you started out with $1,500 and we started out with nothing. And they know that if we ever let these black people get equality, that they will take over. They will be on the top of everything. And watch this, watch this. Every place they have let us in, we rose to the top. Every place.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
Sure you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay. This.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying, man. You see the thumbnail, man. This is my thoughts on affirmative action. You know, the video is about the monopoly, but it's because of, I use it for reference from affirmative action. If you haven't seen it in the news, the Supreme Court X'd out affirmative action, right? And also the push for student loan debt relief. No, not happening. So, with that being said, right, as a black male, not a big deal for us as black men. I'm going to tell you why. We're on the lower end of the spectrum of affirmative action in the first place. So, you know, it's like white women, black women, I think Hispanic women, maybe, you know, somewhere it's a hodgepodge, I'm guessing, between Asian and black men, Asian, Hispanic men, Asian men, Hispanic men, black men, and who am I missing? It can't be white men, but probably Muslim, the group of Muslims, you know, but pretty much 80% of it, like 3/4 of it at a minimum, is white women. So if I'm not mistaken, some Asian folks pushed to end affirmative action. So yeah, y'all about to suffer. That model minority and buffer class thing that y'all got going on, that's over with. That's over with. Now, and it's sad to say it, but they should have known that. You know, I guess their community actually believes America is some type of meritocracy, and if they got good grades and a good SAT or ACT score, that's just going to get them into these colleges. No, it's not. They're just going to find some white equivalent somewhere and say, hey, and say, oh, you know, or somebody who's white and not the equivalent, but they can tell you that they are. So you're going to find that out, and then we'll see where you go from there. And if I'm not mistaken, Asian women date out at like 40%. Prepare for that to increase. You know, I don't know what the young men are going to do, because, you know, just because the cost of
college keeps going up. It's ridiculous, to be perfectly honest. It's just become a hustle, a super scam that the government subsidizes. But and with no student loan debt relief, now it's going to come out of pocket. So even with this quote unquote affirmative action getting tore apart, you gotta ask the question like, okay, where do you think these scholarships gonna go now? Where do you think they're gonna go? It's all white people all the time, baby. You know. So you Asian, you better get your. I don't know. You better get your basketball skills up. Yeah, Jeremy Lin went to Harvard, so you might want to hoop it up. You know. Just saying. For even black women, this is a blow. Yeah, this hurts. That double minority, I'm a woman and I'm black, it's over with. It's over with. So, black men are like, it is what it is. The gay community, hey bro, it is what it is. You know. So now, these hiring practices, even when it comes to like, I would say even like YouTube and social media in general. Remember how Elon Musk fired all those people from Twitter and Facebook had to let go of a bunch of people? All that quote unquote social justice warrior stuff from predominantly like white people, that's over. That's over. Y'all ain't gonna get hired either. Back to the good old boy system. And, I was talking to a coworker of mine because one of my coworkers, white guy, we talk politics and whatnot. And he came to me this morning. He's like, "Yo, what you think?" He didn't say "yo," but he was like, he said, "I think that was messed up." He was like, it's like, and then he said, "I don't even know why Asians is tripping about it in the first place. I think affirmative action should only be for Native American and Black Americans. Like everybody else should mind their business." And I was like, "Hey, this is America though. That's not how it goes." So, I think the reparations talk is about going to overdrive. They open that door. Congratulations, And for black people, it's like, hey, all that riding black folks' coattails, that's over with. That's over with. And even like the Hispanics and people who can sometimes, the people who can be classified as white, it's about to be a separation with that. Yeah. Just like when because with like, man, I'm sorry about that. Just like with affirmative action, right? They still had those experiments where if somebody had a black name, they put them to the side. So for you Asians and you Hispanics, Muslims, once that name show up on that application, you push to the side, buddy. These numbers of your guys' employment is about to drop. Don't even worry about knowing if people are qualified or not. You're not going to be hired in the first place. You're not going to be able to look around in the first place. Sometimes that want to assimilate and I'm as good as white people. Sometimes you sabotage yourself, and you did it on this one. Like I said, ladies, y'all gonna suffer. White women are not gonna suffer. They're gonna do the same thing they've been doing. As a matter of fact, they might wind up getting further ahead because now they don't have to share affirmative action. Let's keep the money in all white, baby. So that bamboo ceiling y'all talked about, don't worry. It ain't gonna be a ceiling. It's gonna be a kitchen table now. A coffee table. You ain't gonna reach the ceiling. The other thing I was talking with my coworker about, I talked to a friend of mine years ago. I told him, white America messed up the money. So with the birth rates decreasing, because that was what Roe versus Wade was about, in my opinion, was, hey, you're going to have some kids, man. We can't let all these others take over, right? Because the majority of the white population is over 55. So when they die, like, there's going to be a steep drop in not just the population, but the percentages of America. So that's going to be a whole different ball game. And like I said about them messing up the money, they've been incompetent for decades. So to me, like Xing out affirmative action is like consolidating money. You get what I'm saying? Because they know it's going to be a rough ride. So F that, we got to keep all the money for ourselves and let the other people starve. And for the Asian people who, thought this was a good idea, y'all not going to be able to go back and go, oops, my bad. We didn't getting discriminated. They're going to say, no, you're the ones who wanted this X'd out. So, you're not going to get people like us, black people. Y'all got to go do something. No. It's time for all you others to see if y'all got y'all civil rights. Let's see how that works if y'all got to do it. Now, I know Clarence Thomas gets a lot of flack for this because it is funny, somebody paid for his kids to go to school, and now he's part of Xing out other people's kids to go to school. Like, oh man, quite hypocritical, but it is what it is. But now, man, like I said, with this, this affirmative action thing ending, boy, you're gonna see a lot of social media influencers and OnlyFans model. It's gonna kick up, and less people going to school. So let's see how that works. Less skilled people. We already not at the top of our game in as far as competing globally in STEM. So it's only going to go downhill now. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, I gave you everything I had.